안녕하세요. You're going to continue to learn how to make question sentences using what plus noun and which plus noun in this lesson. Let's go.
Okay, let's learn how Koreans actually say where are you from. You were so curious about this, weren't you? Finally, we are learning about this. Let's take a look at the English sentence first right away. Which country did you come from? The past tense is used here. You should remember that. Koreans use this sentence more often than where is your hometown or where did you come from that we learned in lesson 5 part 3. When Koreans ask where are you from, it means which country were you born in. So if you're born in Croatia but live in the US, it will save some time for you to mention both of the countries at the same time. If you're Asian, it's good to mention about where your ethnicity originally come from because Koreans sometimes, not always, especially older people, tend to relate the place where you live to your ethnicity. So if your grandparents are from Vietnam, but you are born in Switzerland, but you live in the United States, it's better to mention all about them. It will definitely save some time. Please don't think it's irritating, because it has not been so long since Koreans started thinking about multiculturalism and stuff. Anyway, that's why some Koreans are curious about where your grandparents come from. Please understand. Okay, let's get back to the sentence then. Which country did you come from? First of all, why did we use the past tense? Yes, as we told you in lesson 5 part 3, because Koreans focus on the actual point when the action of coming here took place. It applies lots of cases in Korean. So remember that Korean language focus on the point when the action actually took place. You were born in the past. You left your country in the past. So you should use the past tense anyway. How about the sentence structure? When you don't know how to make a question sentence, just imagine answering to the English question that you want to translate first. Like, I came from Korea. Beware, it's in the past tense. Then you can replace the subject I with you and the part you want to know with the interrogative. You want to know the place where the subject comes from. So let's replace Korea with the interrogative which country. You came from which country? So the subject you always comes first in a Korean sentence, and the verb came, of course, comes at the end. From which country comes in the middle. It's easy. You, from which country, came, and bang, and a question mark. We don't need a subject you, of course. From which country? Which is 어느. Country is 나라, 나라. Which country? 어느 나라. How about the preposition from? How do you translate this? Do you remember? We learned about this in lesson 4 part 3 and lesson 5 part 3. Yes, we can use the particle 에서, because it also can mean the origin or starting point. Do you remember the sentence we learned in lesson 4 part 3? I am going to depart from Seoul for Bangkok tomorrow. We used 에서 for the translation of the preposition from in this sentence. We cannot use 에게서 or 한테서 because they can be used only for the living things, especially human. How about 로부터, 로부터? Yes, you can use it, but it sounds very foreigner. 로부터 can be used for the translation of the English preposition from in most of the time. We think it's mainly because this particle 로부터 is affected by the English preposition from a lot. Well, anyway, you can say that you don't really use this 로부터 when you actually speak Korean. So let's just use 에서, 어느 나라에서, 어느 나라에서. Came. It's in the past tense. So 왔어요, 왔어요. 어느 나라에서 왔어요? 어느 나라에서 왔어요? Let's make a higher respect form then. You just need to turn the verb into the higher respect form. That's it. The basic form of the higher respect form of the verb come is 오시다, 오시다. Just add 시 sound right after the stem of the original basic form. 오, 오시다. Now, 오시 is the stem. She has a neutral vowel E, therefore you need to add 었어요 to turn it into the past tense. 오시었어요. But she and 엇 sounds have to be combined because she doesn't have a final consonant. 시엇, 시엇, 셔, 셔. It becomes 셔 sound. 오셨어요? 오셨어요? 어느 나라에서 오셨어요? 어느 나라에서 오셨어요? Beautiful. Let's see the next sentence. This one is also used a lot in Korean to mean where are you from. The English sentence sounds a little bit strange, but don't worry, it will sound okay in Korean. Which country's person are you? Not sure if native English speakers would understand what we are trying to say. Which country's person are you? Well, I can kind of understand. You are which country's person? It looks like this sentence is in the English sentence pattern number 3. Then we might be able to use 예요 or 이에요. We'll see. Let's rearrange the words first. The subject you comes first and the be verb comes at the end of the sentence because there is no other verb in this sentence. And which country's person comes in the middle. You, which country's person, are, and a question mark. Which is 어느. Country is 나라. What is this? Yes, apostrophe S. We told you that the particle 의 has the same role as apostrophe S does in English in lesson 4 part 1. Person is 사람. Which country's person? 어느 나라의 사람. The be verb are. Which country's person equals you. So we can use the predicate 이에요. As you know, this is not the direct translation of the be verb in English. There's no translation for a be verb in Korean. You can use the predicate 이에요 because the original sentence is in the English pattern number 3, which is used to say something or someone is something. So, 어느 나라의 사람이에요? 어느 나라의 사람이에요? Perfect. Maybe it sounds more colloquial without the particle 의. Let's get rid of it. 어느 나라 사람이에요? 어느 나라 사람이에요? Yes, it sounds natural. Again, 어느 나라 사람이에요? Beautiful. Then let's make a higher respect form. You can turn a person 사람 and the predicate 이에요 into a higher respect form. Why do we have to turn 사람 into a higher respect form? It's not because it's a person. A person in this sentence and the subject you are the same person. That's why. Anyway, it's always good to use a higher respect form for any person. We use 분 instead of 사람 when we indicate a person with more respect. So which country's person is 어느 나라의 분. 어느 나라의 분. The higher respect form of the predicate 이다 is 이시다. When we put 이시 and 어요 together, 시 and 어 sound are combined and it becomes 이셔요, 이셔요, or 이세요 is okay too. We are moving faster because we already explained about this several times, okay? So, 어느 나라의 분이셔요? Or 어느 나라의 분이세요? 어느 나라의 분이세요? You sound more natural without the particle 의. 어느 나라 분이세요? 어느 나라 분이셔요? Beautiful. Let's learn about the higher respect form of who and someone. Why do we bring up who and someone all of a sudden in the middle of learning about which plus a noun and a what plus a noun? Let's see the English sentence first. Who ate my pie? Do you remember this sentence? We learned about this in lesson 5 part 3. 누가 제 파이를 먹었어요? Or using the higher respect form of the verb eat, 드시다. 누가 제 파이를 드셨어요? But we didn't tell you how to turn the interrogative pronoun who into a higher respect form. Yes, we can turn who into a higher respect form because, first, it indicates a person, and second, there is a possibility that someone who's much older than you ate your pie. So it's natural to use a higher respect form for the interrogative who in many cases. We're going to learn about that on this page. We already know how the sentence structure is going to be. It's a simple sentence. Then let's see what is actually written on this page. Which person, my pie, ate? Which person? Why which person has come here? The answer is very simple. Because the direct translation of higher respect form of the interrogative pronoun who is closer to which person. Then what is the higher respect form of who? 어느 분 or 어떤 분. You can use the translation of the interrogative which, 어느 or 어떤, which has the meaning of somewhere between which and what. And 분 is the higher respect form of a person, 사람. That's how it makes the higher respect form of who, 누구. Okay? It also can be the higher respect form of the noun someone, as who and someone use the same translation, 누구. So which person, 어느 분 or 어떤 분. As you know, 어느 provides the nuance of the limited choice. Okay? Let's add a subject particle e because which person is used as a subject and the last letter 분 has the final consonant. 어느 분이 or 어떤 분이. My pie. My is 제. Pie is just 파이. It's a loan word. If everybody knows it's your pie, you can omit the possessive my, 제. But under given circumstance, nobody knew it was your pie. Therefore, you better not omit 제 here. 제 파이, 제 파이, 제 파이. And let's add the object particle 를, 제 파이를. Yes, it would not sound strange even though you get rid of this object particle 를 in a real life conversation. 제 파이를. ate. The higher respect form of the verb eat is 드시다, 드시다. If we add 어요 to it, it becomes 드셔요, 드셔요. And if we add 어써요 to it, it becomes 드셨어요, 드셨어요. We're gonna use 드셨어요 since the original sentence is in the past tense. 어느 분이 제 파이를 드셨어요? 어느 분이 제 파이를 드셨어요? With 어떤, without the object particle 를. 어떤 분이 제 파이 드셨어요? 어떤 분이 제 파이 드셨어요? Sounds scary. We can use the higher respect form of the particle 이 or 가, which is 깨서, 깨서. Since 어느 분이 제 파이 드셨어요? Sounds a bit scary. It would sound slightly mild if we use 깨서. Let's try it. 어느 분께서 제 파이를 드셨어요? 어느 분께서 제 파이를 드셨어요? Yes, it sounds milder. Without the particle 를, 어떤 분께서 제 파이 드셨어요? 어떤 분께서 제 파이 드셨어요? Let's see the next sentence with the noun someone. Did someone call me? Since someone uses the same translation as who does, did someone call me and who called me would be translated into the same sentence in Korean. Anyway, the English verb call here means to say someone's name in a loud voice because you are trying to attract his or her attention or to ask them to come to you. In this case, we use the Korean verb 부르다, 부르다, and the higher respect form is 부르시다, 부르시다. Let's rearrange the words first. Let's use which person again to turn the noun someone into the higher respect form. Which person or someone comes first because it's the subject of this sentence. Then me comes next because it's an object of the verb call. And then the verb called or did call comes at the end of the sentence. Which person? Me. Cold. It's easy now. Which person is 어떤 분? Yes, you can use 어느 분 too if you are sure that one of them absolutely called you. And add the particle 이 or the higher respect form 께서. Me. I is 저. And the objective me is the same 저 too. In Korean, pronouns don't change their form in accordance with their roles in the sentence. It's mainly because we have the particles in Korean. How about my, 제? It changed its form from 저. Actually, 제 is the shortened form of 저의. That's why. Okay? Very good. And you can add or omit the object particle 를, 저를. Cold. The higher respect form is 부르시다, 부르시다. In order to turn this into the past tense form, we should add 었어요 to the stem 부르시, 부르시었어요. Since the last letter of the stem 시 doesn't have a final consonant, 시 and 엇 sounds should be combined. 시엇, 시엇, 샷. So it becomes 부르셨어요, 부르셨어요. 어떤 분이 저를 부르셨어요? 어떤 분께서 저를 부르셨어요? Without the object particle를 어떤 분이 저 부르셨어요? 어떤 분께서 저 부르셨어요? Beautiful. Okay, what are you going to learn on this page? Let's take a look at the English sentences at the top first. Which do you prefer? This is a correct sentence in English, but it's not in Korean. Why? Because, as we told you, we must add a noun to an interrogative which in Korean, no matter what. Again, which must be used with a noun all the time in Korean. Let's take a look at the sentence on the right. Which one do you prefer? In Korean, you have to add at least something to the interrogative which like this. Then, what's the translation of the pronoun one? 것, 것. Please remember this one. Spelling and sound. 것, 것. It's a dependent noun in Korean grammar. There are many usages of 것 in Korean, but for now, just remember these two. This 것 sound is used to refer to a thing without using its name. That's why you can use 것 as a translation of the English pronoun one. Plus, 것 can turn a verb or an adjective into a noun. We're going to learn about this more specifically in lesson 6. Then let's actually translate the English sentence, which one do you prefer? You prefer which one? It looks like you is the subject and which one is an object of a verb prefer. Let's rearrange the words right away. The subject you comes first, and then the object which one comes next. And then the verb prefer comes at the end. It's now too easy for you, isn't it? There's a reason why we over-explain things right now. You will thank us later. Which, 어느, one, 것. The entire which one is an object, so you can add the object particle 을 to 것. 어느 것을, 어느 것을. Prefer. Let's use 더 좋아해요 this time, which means to like more. 어느 것을 더 좋아해요? 어느 것을 더 좋아해요? 것을 can be shortened into 걸 in conversational Korean as other pronoun plus particles normally do. Then let's use 어떤 this time instead of 어느 and use 걸 instead of 것을 and use 선호해요 in a higher respect form instead of 더 좋아해요. 어떤 걸 선호하세요? 어떤 걸 선호하세요? Very good. Let's learn something related to what we've learned in the previous page. Let's see the English sentence first. Which of the fruits do you like? Fruit is 과일, 과일 in Korean. You know the difference between which fruit do you like and which of the fruits do you like in English sentence, don't you? So there must be one or more fruits right in front of your eyes so that you can choose one out of them. That's why the English preposition of is used here. So this of the fruits has the meaning of between these fruits. Therefore, you need to split it from which since it is going to work as an independent unit. We already learned something about this in a couple of pages before. Then let's rearrange the words. Subject you comes first and put the verb like at the end of the sentence without a doubt. And then put of the fruits right after the subject you. And you know why it comes before the interrogative which in a Korean sentence. We already learned about this. Because in Korean, we tend to arrange the words in order from bigger with a wider range and smaller with a narrow range. Therefore, it is natural to put of the fruits, which is the target of the selection and has the variety of alternatives before which. And put the interrogative which, that is an object, before the verb like. By the way, didn't we tell you which cannot be used alone in a Korean sentence? Yes, we did. Let's see the grammar section. In the original English sentence, no noun came after which. But in a Korean sentence, the same noun mentioned as a target or a group of selection should come right after 어느, 어떤, or 무슨 one more time. Here we are talking about fruits, 과일. So we need to add fruit, 과일, one more time, right after which. 어느 과일. Okay? Yes, you can also use 것, instead of the actual noun 과일. 어느 것, 어느 것. This 것 never be used alone. Remember that. So it's gonna be you of the fruits. Which fruit or which one? Like. Perfect. Let's make a Korean sentence then. We don't need a subject you. Of the fruits. Of. 중에서. 중에. Or 중. Let's use 중에서. Why? I don't know why, but it sounds clearer and more natural to me. Fruits. Fruit is 과일. 과일. Well, you can make it plural in this sentence like 과일들. 과일들 with the 들 sound. But as we told you, Koreans use plural only when they want to emphasize the fact that there are more than two. So it is okay to use the singular form 과일 when we indicate fruits as a group, or use a singular form as a representative of the group. 과일 중에서, of the fruits. Which fruit? Which is 어느. Fruit is, as you know, 과일. Yes, you should mention fruit one more time with an interrogative, 어느, because 어느 cannot be used alone. Which fruit? 어느 과일. 어느 과일. It's an object of the verb like. You can add or omit the object particle 을. 어느 과일을. More naturally sound. 어느 과일을. 어느 과일을. Okay? Like. 좋아해요. 과일 중에서 어느 과일을 좋아해요? 과일 중에서 어느 과일을 좋아해요? Very nice. Then let's use 어떤 this time, and let's use 것 instead of repeating 과일 one more time. 과일 중에서 어떤 것을 좋아해요? 과일 중에서 어떤 것을 좋아해요? 과일 중에서 어떤 것을 좋아해요? 것을 can be shortened into 걸. 과일 중에서 어떤 걸 좋아해요? 과일 중에서 어떤 걸 좋아해요? Very, very nice. Then let's make a higher respect form. We're gonna use 무슨 this time. 과일 중에서 무슨 과일을 좋아하셔요? or 좋아하세요? 과일 중에서 무슨 과일을 좋아하세요? Perfect. No, you can't say what one in Korean either. Therefore, you can't say 무슨 것. Okay? Let's see the next sentence. Which of those people are married? The entire which of those people is the subject in this English sentence. But let's split of those people from which and use which as a subject in a Korean sentence. We always put the subject at the head of the sentence, but we know we should put a group or a target of selection before which. So even though we use which as a subject this time, we should put of those people first before which. So let's put of those people at the head of the sentence and put which. Then what noun should we use? Yes, you can use people one more time because people was used in the original English sentence. But you can also use person. No problem. Why? You ask a lot of questions. Very good. When you think that there would be just one person who is married in this group of people, it is okay to use a singular person. Anyway, you don't know how many people in this group are married, so it is okay to use a singular person. So, which person or which people? And then put the verb marry in an active form and in the past tense, married. Why does it has to be in an active form and in the past tense, while the original one was in a passive form and in the present simple tense? First of all, Koreans don't really use a passive form. Okay, we're partially lying. They use, but you don't have to use it because it's too difficult to use for you. We will learn about passive form at level 2 maybe. It's absolutely unnecessary at level 1. There are Korean endings that can contain the meaning that the English passive form has, but they are different from the English passive form. Some people even say that there is no passive form in Korean at all. Therefore, you should always try to make a sentence in an active form. It's easy for you. Then why does it have to be in the past tense? It's because the original English sentence in the passive form, are married, implies the status of being married. But Koreans focus more on the point when the action actually happened. They are married now, but they married in the past. That's why we should use the past tense. Is it clear? So sentence structure is going to be of those people, which person married. Let's skip the casual honorific form and let's make a higher respect form right away because of lack of the space. Of those people. You use those to refer to plural form of a noun which have already been mentioned in English. Plus you use a plural pronoun to a plural noun in English, right? What do you call it in English grammar? Agreement on number? Okay. And we can say that those is a plural form of the pronoun that. What is the translation of the determiner that in Korean? Yes, 저. The pronoun that is 저것. The determiner that is 저. In Korean, you don't make a determiner plural because a noun added to it shows the number. People here is already plural, so you don't have to use the plural form of a pronoun. Just use 저. It's okay. A person is 사람. The higher respect form of 사람 is 분. We add 들 sound to make it plural in Korean. We learned about it in lesson 4 part 1. So 분들 is people easy, right? So 저분들 중에서, 저분들 중에서, of those people, among those people, 저분들 중에서, okay? Which person, 어느 분, 어느 분, right? Are you following? You can use the plural 분들 if you want to say which people. 어느 분들, 어느 분들. Let's add a subject particle e because it's a subject. Furthermore, you are asking which person is married. Therefore, you can say that you are emphasizing the subject which person. 어느 분이, 어느 분이, or 어느 분들이, 어느 분들이. Yes, you can use the auxiliary particle too, but it will change the nuance. If you use the subject particle e, it would sound like asking a question, who's married? But if you use the auxiliary particle it would sound more like asking who's married while nobody is married, or who's married and who's not. It's really hard to learn the nuance of the subject particle and auxiliary particle, isn't it? We know. That's why we keep telling you how the nuance changes at least. Married. Married. The basic form of the verb marry is 결혼하다. 결혼하다. It's a noun plus 하다 verb. Long time no see. So the higher respect form of it is conveniently 결혼하시다. 결혼하시다. It must become 결혼하셔요 when it's combined with the honorific suffix 요. And the past form must be 결혼하셨어요. 결혼하셨어요. Are you alright? So 저분들 중에서 어느 분이 결혼하셨어요? 저분들 중에서 어느 분이 결혼하셨어요? Which of the people are married? Yes, you can use 께서, the higher respect form of the particle e or 가. 저분들 중에서 어느 분께서 결혼하셨어요? 저분들 중에서 어느 분께서 결혼하셨어요? Perfect. Of course, you cannot use 것 for person. Well, frankly, you can use it, but it will sound very offensive. 저것들 중에서 어느 것이 결혼했어요? You use 것 to a person or people when you are degrading them. It's not a slang actually. It's a standard way to degrade people. But we hope you don't use it, at least for now. Now you almost finished this lesson. Let's take a look at the next sentence. Which one of you comes from Malaysia? We are mainly learning which one of you part in this page. We can simply swap it with the interrogative who, like who comes from Malaysia. It's easier. But let's do this together anyway. There's nothing you haven't learned here. Let's reposition the words first. What is the subject of the sentence? The entire which one of you is the subject. But we like to split of you part because it's a group or a target of a selection. It has the independent role itself in a Korean sentence. So as we learned, we put of you first and then put the subject which one next. And position the from Malaysia part right before the verb which comes last in the sentence. Of you, which one, from Malaysia, came. Why did we use the past form of the verb? You know the answer, we already learned about it. Of you, of must be translated into 중에서, 중에, or 중. Let's use 중에서. We are in love with the 중에서. Actually, 중에 has the slightly different usage. But even native Koreans don't know what it is. Therefore, you pick any one of them you want. How about the pronoun you? We always say that the pronoun you is useless in a Korean honorific sentence. Yes, it's true when it refers to a single second person you. But when it refers to people, you better translate it. Because you can't call each individual person by their names or positions. we use 여러분, 여러분 in this sentence. When you call a group of people, you use 여러분, 여러분. So, of you, 여러분 중에서. How about 여러분들 with the 들 sound, which make a noun plural? It's not wrong, but 여러분 itself already is plural, as the word people is in English. You don't have to add 들 sound to it. So let's not add 들 sound here. It's more reasonable. So, of you, 여러분 중에서 is just fine. Which one? Which one here means which person. So you can't use 것. You should use 사람 or 분 for the pronoun one. So 어느 사람 is correct. But Koreans don't really want to be called 사람 as a second person. Why? It sounds less polite. It's not rude, but it sounds a little bit less polite. So it's better to use who, 누구, in a casual honorific sentence. Or it's much better to use 어느 분, the higher respect form, even in a casual honorific sentence. But it's just a practice, so let's just use 어느 사람. You can add a subject particle 이, 어느 사람이. From Malaysia. Someone pronounce it Malaysia. Someone pronounce it Malaysia in English. The standard word for Malaysia is 말레이시아 in Korean with 시 sound. Malaysia. From, as we always did, for the origin, departing, or starting point, let's use 에서. 에서. As you know, 로부터 might sound to foreigner. 말레이시아에서. 말레이시아에서. Came. 왔어요? So, of you, 여러분 중에서, which one? 어느 사람이 from Malaysia. 말레이시아에서 came. 왔어요? 여러분 중에서 어느 사람이 말레이시아에서 왔어요? 여러분 중에서 어느 사람이 말레이시아에서 왔어요? Perfect. Let's make a higher respect form then. Of you, 여러분 중에서. No change. No special higher respect form for 여러분. It's good to go. Which one? Which? 어느? One. 분. Yes, it's better to use the higher respect form of a person, 사람, 분, 어느 분, and the subject particle 이, 어느 분이. From Malaysia, 말레이시아에서, came. The higher respect form of the verb come is 오시다. The stem is 오시. Since the last letter of the stem 시 has e vowel, which is neutral, you should use 어요 sound to turn it into the past tense. 오시었어요. But due to the fact that 시 sound doesn't have a final consonant, 시 and sounds are supposed to combine. 시엇, 샷, 샷. So 오셨어요, 오셨어요 is correct. Is there even any verb or an adjective that the last letter of the stem has a final consonant? Yes, there is. Wait and see until one of them appears. Anyway, of you, 여러분 중에서, which one? 어느 분이, from Malaysia, 말레이시아에서, came, 오셨어요? 여러분 중에서 어느 분이 말레이시아에서 오셨어요? Beautiful. Let's use 어떤 and 께서 this time. 여러분 중에서 어떤 분께서 말레이시아에서 오셨어요? Beautiful. This is the end of lesson 5 part 5. See you in the last lesson of the lesson 5 then. 안녕히 계세요.
This is the end of YouTube lesson 5 part 12. The next video is going to be about negative questions in Korean. 그럼 다음 비디오에서 만나요. 안녕히 계세요.